When I was a kid, my brother and I used to spend the summer at my grandmother's place in the countryside. There were 24 kids there, both city and local. All in all, it was fun. We also went to the woods. There were several places where the village boys took the townspeople on a tour. An old bear's den, a tree split by lightning, and a groaning cleft. The groaning crevice was a small fissure in a block of granite 5 yards high, and how much more underground was unknown, and the same in cross-section. Something like an egg buried in the ground. Apparently, there was a cavity inside, because if you shout into the crack, there would be an echo. Except that the voice was distorted, although it remained similar to yours, but it was no longer a child's cry, but a moan. It seemed ridiculous at the time. It was a small slit. You could put your hand through it, but you couldn't put your foot through it. The light was weak, and not a speck of sunlight could be seen more than 10 inches from the entrance. And what was also funny about this boulder was that it would return anything thrown at it. If you throw a rock, it comes back in a second. If you throw a lump, it comes back too. My brother explained to me that it must have been a slope, so everything rolled down. And if you blow as hard as you can, the air also came back, only with an unpleasant odor. For us city dwellers, rocks were not enough. We wanted to stand out in front of the villagers and throw something unusual into the gap. I risked throwing my treasure, a glass ball from the aquarium. The ball came back, but it broke that night. My grandmother said it must have cracked when it hit the granite. The next time, I threw a hard-boiled egg that my grandmother had given me. The egg came back, but not immediately. I waited 5 seconds for it. And that day I never ate it. It turned out to be rotten. The kitten, which the village boy had stuck in the gap, did not want to come out for a long time. He wrestled something in there, but did not react. A few minutes later he came out as if nothing had happened. A few days later he was drowned. He clawed at the face of the child, that boy's brother, tearing the skin to shreds. And that summer we never went to the cleft again. We didn't even discuss it among ourselves, as if we had conspired to forget about it. And at the end of August, my brother suggested, before we left for the city, that we walk through all the places where we played. As a memento. To the crevice, too.
Look, the cleft is bigger. I can put my foot through,
he said. And I didn't have time to stop him. The cleft was at the level of his stomach. He slid his foot all the way to his knee. But he couldn't get it out anymore. It was stuck. He pulled, and I pulled, but nothing worked. And that's when we both roared in fear. He was only a year older than me, just a kid. Then we pulled his leg up, and it came out of the gap easily. My brother couldn't step on it, it hurt. He walked to the village, leaning on me. Doctors examined him both in the village and in the city. No fracture, no dislocation, no abrasion, no contusion. But he still could not step on it, even after 22 years. Last spring my grandmother, who had lived with us in the city for the past few years, died, and we decided to sell her house in the country. We went there in the summer with my husband and daughter, and looked at the abandoned house. My daughter Nika got to know the village kids. I started calling her for lunch, but she was nowhere to be found. I was told she had gone out with the boys. I ran across the village and saw the boys coming toward me in a crowd, and Nika was among them. But they all looked scared. I ran up and grabbed her and asked, "How dare you leave without warning? Where were you?" They all told me in one voice that they were not far away, in the garden, and I could see in their eyes that they were lying. "Did you go to the woods?" I asked. "No," they said. And they averted their eyes. I brought my daughter home, unharmed, smiling. She said she had been walking in the garden, too. I left her with my husband and went into the woods, to the groaning cleft. Lord have mercy, she was 5 times bigger than when I was a child. Now the whole child can pass, though with difficulty. Nearby, as usual, lie the stones. And there are 2 long red hairs fluttering on the granite itself. My Nika's hair. When I got home, I asked her, and she looked at me with such honest eyes, so surprised, so hurt, that I almost believed her. But my daughter can't lie. But I ran to the neighbors, shook their son, and told him to confess. He confessed that they showed Nick the granite and even lifted her up so she could climb up there. Everyone got worried when she was gone for almost an hour. And when she came out, they decided not to tell the adults anyway. My husband called me hysterical, said my daughter is alive, what more do you want? And I don't know if my daughter is alive. Did Nika come back after the incision, or did the incision do something in the hour she was gone? Because that little girl, I don't recognize her. She's different. Spoiled. We gave our dog to a shelter after this girl allegedly accidentally stuck a burning match in her eye. And after Carl's rat, I'm not taking any animals into the house. I don't want anyone trying to crawl around without paws again. I don't know what she says to my husband, but my husband already thinks I'm crazy. And she looks at me. During the day, behind me, she stares, not blinking, until I turn around. I see her look in the mirror and I'm afraid to turn around. And at night, she comes to the bed and looks, and I don't find the strength to open my eyes. And today this girl asked when we were going to the village again. She said, "Daddy, I want to show you something." And my husband doesn't listen to me. He changed his mind about selling the house in the country. He says that the child needs nature. I can't hold him back. I want to file for divorce and leave my child with my husband. May my family curse me, but I want to live away from this and grieve for my Nika alone.